Om Badram Karne Vishnuyaama Devaah Badram Pashye Makshabiryajatraah Sthirairangai Tushtuvagam Sastanubihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashavaah Swasti na Pusha Vishvavedaah Swasti nastarksho arishthanemihi Swasti no brihaspati'r dadatu Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. So, last class, we stopped with the mantra 8. Avidyamantare vartamanaha Swayam panditam manyamanaha. They are stupid in ignorance. Avidyam antare vartamanaha. They are deep inside ignorance. Avidya. Swayam panditam manyamanaha. But they think they are all, panditas. Janganyamanaha. They are into grief. They are into a lot of problems. And the Upanishad says, Andena nitamanaha yata andaha. One blind man is leading 20 blind people to a destination. This is the example the Upanishad is giving. One blind man leads 20 blind men to a destination. How is it possible? That's where we stopped last class. While the Upanishad talked very nicely about Karma Kanda, the first 5-6 mantras very beautifully talked about. Of course, it said, if you are in Karma Kanda, you have to be very, very diligent. All that it said. Suddenly, it has become very harsh. Because Mudaha, in every mantra, you will find about Muda now. Pramudaha. Today, we will see one more mantra and it will say Pramudaha. Pramudaha means Prakrishena Mudaha, Visesha Mudas. A high level of, idiocy. So, the Upanishad has become very harsh now. While it started very nicely in the second chapter of the first Mundaka, suddenly it has hardened. And it is telling very hard things. It says, what is all this? With complete ignorance, and it as though some 10 blind people are being led by another blind man. It's a very strong simile that the Upanishad has given. Essentially, this is how the Upanishad is gradually moving from Karma Kanda to the Jnana Kanda. But I find that it's been very strong, right? So, what happens when a blind man leads 20 blind men? This is the question. If one blind man leads 20 blind men, or one blind woman leads 20 blind women, whichever way you want to take it, what will happen? Why is Upanishad bringing that example? That is where we stopped last class. We stopped with this. It will be an endless circle because we do not know the destination. Nobody knows the destination. Or even if you know the destination, you don't know the path. You will keep on going round and round and round and round and round. This is what Upanishad is trying to impress upon. It is saying if we are not well informed in life, we will have, as Shankaracharya says, Shatakoti Janmaha. That's what in, Viveka Chudamani starts. 10,000 crore Janma. 100 years into 10 power 7, 10 power 9 human years is what Shankaracharya is talking. It only indicates that, there are some issues. These are the 4 questions with which I stopped last class. How many times one must go through this to escape? If you don't know the know-how, you will eternally go through. What? How many times? Infinite number of times. Because it is designed like that. You keep on going round and round and round and round and round. How many times? If you don't know the methodology how to escape, it will be infinite. You will keep on going round and round and round. How long should we go round and round in this path to escape? Until Jnana Sampadana. Until we have that, we are blessed with Jnana. Any number of effort in this mortal world is not going to make things any better. In fact, today I will bring from Mundakopanishad. It is scary, but then that is related to the mantra, so I will have to. I will get the entire set of mantras from Mundakopanishad related to one mantra in Mundakopanishad. We will see that. So, how long? Until we know how to do the Jnana Sampadana, it is not worth. We will go on and on and on and on. Then the third question is, when will we come out? If we follow someone who does not know how to get out of the spiral, we will never come out. We don't need an answer for it. If somebody does not know how to get out of the spiral, you should not go behind them. That's what the Upanishad is saying. Yata andaha niyamanaha yata andena. One anda is leading all the other andas. So I think we cannot just rely on these kind of things. We need that right instruction that only gives us that escape velocity. How to develop the escape velocity from the spiral? That is where this entire, the Upanishad teaching lies there. That is how our rishis thought. In fact, every one of us, in fact, I teach a course on Bhagavad Gita. Many of these things I actually teach there. My students are all spellbound. Yesterday I had 3 hours because I cancelled Friday's class. I had to go to Tanjavur. So I had to do that class. 3 hours I taught yesterday. So I told them, and I have a lot of foreign students also. So exchange students also come and sit in my Bhagavad Gita course. So I told them, whether you are an American or a European or an Indian, whether you are a Kannadiga, Tamilian, whatever it is, whether you are a male or a female, whether you are old or young, doesn't matter. Every one of us have a question at the back of our mind. And that question is, what is the connection between 3 tips of a triangle, Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara? There are 3 reference points for every one of us. There is a Jiva, which is an individual. There is a Jagat. Every individual is in a context. So I keep saying, we use some of these English words without thinking about it. My worldview is different from your worldview. We say like that. What does it mean? My world is different from your world. My world now is something. My world, 4 hours later may be something else. Tomorrow morning it may be something else. But the fact is, every one of us have a world around us. Jagat. Then there is a larger force called Ishvara. Different religions may call it different ways. If people don't have a Saguna Upasana, in Nirguna also they may think it in whatever way. In fact, there's a nice Sanskrit song. Yam Vaidika Mantra Drisha Purana. Vaidikas see that only as mantra. That's what he says. Yam Vaidika Mantra Drisha Purana. Indram Yamam Somam Esvanamaguhu. So the Vedic gods are all not Krishna and Lakshmi and Ganapati. They're all Pauranic gods. So that's very nice Sanskrit. We all sing actually in our this thing. It brings everything. Sat Sri Akaleti Sikha Santa. So it doesn't matter. Sikh people may say Sat Sri Akal, but everybody accepts there is a larger force. So this triangle, how do I connect these 3? That is what the Upanishad teaches us. In modern world, what happens is Ishvara is a very feeble entity. Jagat is a very transactional entity. For the Jiva, Jagat is simply to do some Vyavahara. I have to make money, people, I have to be very respected. I have the power, position. we will just go around within this circle. Whereas our rishis took us to a much greater plane. They said, no, there is a profound, it's called Triputi, Maha Triputi. See, there is something called Triputi. I have talked about it in my earlier classes also. Triputi is a very fundamental concept. For example, everything in the world can be brought into Triputi. For example, seer, drishta, drishya. Yes, there is a seer, there is a seen, there is a process of seeing. There are three items here. One person is seeing, he is drishta. What he is seeing are subject, object, that is called drishya. And drishti is the process of seeing. Bhokta, somebody is eating. Bhojyam is what you are eating. Bhojanam is the process of eating. So Maha Triputi is Jiva Jagatishvara. Triputi is a grand concept. Everything in the world can be reduced to three things. But the grand Triputi is Jiva Jagatishvara. And our Upanishads actually painstakingly informs us how to understand it. That is the only way we'll develop the escape velocity. Otherwise, we may be doing many things. Today, at the end of the class, I'll show you. There are a lot of people who think I am very dharmic. I don't lie. I don't cheat anyone. A lot of people think that's enough. That's not enough. That's why I want to bring Chandogya Upanishad. This is a great revelation. This is a Western thinking. It is a Abrahamic thinking that if you are, don't tell lies, you are helpful, if you are good, you don't harm anyone, they think that is the ultimate goal. That is not. Today's mantra is saying that. So we'll see today's two mantras, which will actually bring what is a deeper concept that we should work for. So in the last mantra, it says, Avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam panditam manyamanaha. Here it again continues. It says, Avidyayam bahuda vartamanaha vayam kritartaha yat abhimanyanti balaha yat karmino na pravedayanti ragat tenaturaha kshina lokaschavante. So I will do a padacheda so that we will start from there. Avidyayam, stooped in ignorance. In avidya, saptami vibhakti. In avidya. Avidyayam. Bahuda vartamanaha. Bahuda is in many ways, multitude ways. Lot of that we do in our empirical world is avidya, as per the Rishi and the Upanishadic terminology. Bahuda vartamanaha. And doing all kinds of things which are all perishable. Please understand there is something called perishable. Nitya, Anitya, Vastu, Vichara is called Viveka. We have to first develop that, frame of mind. There are a lot of things which are perishable. Position is perishable, life is perishable, respect is perishable, money is perishable. Everything is perishable. Adityehi gataraha samkshiyate jivitam. That's what in Vairagya Shataka, Bhartrihari says. Every day when the sun rises, one day is gone. Vyaparehi bahukarya kurubihi kalopi najñayate. I am very busy. I am doing a lot of things. I am very busy. Kalopi najñayate. Time is going. I am so busy. Then he says, everybody is going through Jara and Vyadi. Nobody is actually worried about it. Trashasta notpadyate. World all the time, people are all going out of the scene. This fellow is, I am very busy. I am very busy. Kalopi najñayate. Bahu karya gurubi. Heavy work. I have a lot of work to do. Pitva mohamayim pramada madiram unmatta bhutam jagat. I think these people in this world are all have drunk something and they have become unmattas. That's what he says. So nitya anitya vastu vichara is very, very important. So vayam kritartaha iti abhimanyanti balaha. By doing all these, which are all perishable in nature, these people think we are kritartas. We have achieved what we have to achieve in life. That is called kritarta. Vayam kritartaha. We have achieved everything in life. Balaha. They are so childish. They are so ignorant. That is why the Upanishad uses the word bala. It has reduced. That person may be 70 years old. It doesn't matter. He may be 40 years old, 20 years old. Doesn't matter. Upanishads call all such people as Bala. You have not developed your faculty for developing the escape velocity. You will go through this endless cycle. You have not understood this charm of the goal of living. That's why it uses the word Bala. Simply say they are all childish. Okay? Yat karminaha, they are karminis. All the time they are in the karma kanda. They think this is what it is. What you see, these Charvakas, there are some philosophy of Charvakas. There is one group called Charvakas. Charvak. What they speak is so agreeable to you. That's why they're called Charvakas. They are all atheists. When we teach philosophy, darshanas, we teach Shad darshanas first. Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga and Sankhya, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. Then we teach three more. Bauddha, Jaina and Charvaka. We have recognized them also as one philosophy of life, but people have condemned that philosophy of life. Why? Because they say that, Pratyaksham eva pramana. What I am able to see in front of that is only pramana. Nothing else is pramana. There is no scope for any other. If I see something, I will agree. Modern science is exactly like that. What they see, they agree. What they don't see, they say it doesn't exist and they put you down. It says, Rinam Krutva Vritam Pibet. If you want to drink ghee, means you want to use some costly things, borrow loan. Like that, there are some rules are there. They are called Charvakas. They are like that. They think what we have to do in this world is all that it is. Enjoy Madi. In Kannada, they say enjoy Madi. That's all is life. That's why the Upanishad says Balaha. They are karminas, karmis. All the time they want to get something out of what is in it for me. That attitude to life. Honestly, they have not understood there is something more. Karminaha na pravedayanti. They don't attain knowledge because it is not in the scheme of things. Syllabus illa though. It is not in the syllabus. That syllabus is how to make money, how do I become powerful, how do I buy the next car, one more house, this, that. Materialism. That's all is within their syllabus. So this jnana is beyond materialism. That is not in their syllabus. Therefore, na pravedayanti. They don't attain knowledge. That they are stooped in karma. They are so kalopi najñayate. Vyaparehi bahukarya guruvihi kalopi najñayate. They are so busy doing things. They think that's all is life. So they don't get the jnana. Na pravedayanti. Ragat. Out of developing, I want this, I want this, I want to be like this, developing that passion for many things. Tena, because of that attitude, aturaha. Aturaha means they get dejected. It's not easy. They will get very disappointed, dejected, all that will happen. Ragena, ragat, tena aturaha. And then finally the last says, Kshina loka chevante. With that karma, they got some punya. And when that punya gets exhausted, you have to come back. And you have to come back where? Kshina loka. This loka is called Kshina loka. Because this loka is one which shrinks everybody. This loka will shrink everybody. I don't know anybody who was born, he say he has grown. Nobody is growing, I'm telling you. If I lived for 100 years, right? I already clocked 60 years. That means that much is gone now. So if I am born on a particular day, if I live for 100 years, then I have 36,500 days. Tomorrow it will be 36,499. Day after tomorrow it will be 36,488. Who is growing? Nobody is growing. When you take a janma, you are shrinking. Please understand that. When we are born, we are shrinking. We are not growing. Although in common parlance we say, oh, he has grown. One is only this Annamaya Kosha. The Pranamaya Kosha and all those are not growing. They are all on their way out. It's a matter of time. Some karma, whatever is over, we'll have to go. So that's why it's called Kshina Loka. Kshina Lokas Chevante. They just, because their good deeds are exhausted, they will just come here. They will get dropped back here. So back into the chakra. That's what that circle I actually showed. So there are some interesting words that, of course, avidya last time we saw. Right? In fact, in one of the commentary in Shankara Bhashya for Mundakopanishad, he says aparavidya, avidya. Like that one Bhashya is there, Shankara Bhashya. Ahal aparavidya is avidya. That's what he says. In Isha Bhashya, it says avidyam, mrityum titva, avidyaya mrityum titva, vidyaya amritam ashnute. Like that, the Upanishad itself has defined all these vidya, vidya in different ways. Huh? Yeah, that is the aparavidya. That's the first Mundaka. We saw the first 4 mantras actually. And it has used the word Bala. Why is it using the word Bala? One, I said, the Upanishad is just thinking this person has maturity at the level of a 3-year-old or 4-year-old. Because they think this is all it is. See what happens to a child. When a growing child, when a child is 2 years old, if a light or fan is put, it thinks it is Mayajal. Something is happening. It doesn't know electricity. It has not learned electricity yet. So it thinks this is Mayajal. That's how we also, when we want to, feed the child, all these wrong things we tell and try to distract the child and so on. What if at the age of 41 thinks this is Mayajal? Fan is rotating. So somebody thinks this is Mayajal. And his mind is only up to a Bala level. Nothing has happened. Right? But there are a few other things. Before that, Vayam Kritartaha iti abhimanyante. So let us see Shankara Bhashya. What is Shankaracharya saying about it? Vayam Kritartaha iti abhimanyanti. We have achieved. That's what they think. His answer is Yadyapi Swargadi Rupam Prayojanam Kritameva. Of course, in the Karma Kanda they went to Swarga. That Prayojana they got. Yadyapi Swargadi Rupam Prayojanam Kritameva. Tatapi, even then, Nat tat paramarthikam. That is not eternal. That's not ultimate. That's not paramarthikam. Nat tat paramarthikam prayojanam. That is not the ultimate goal. These are all intermediate goals. Huh? Not only that, anadi, anatyantikam. It is anadi, it is ananta. It is anta. Anadi and anta. It has no beginning, it will also end. So it is temporary. It is not forever. After some time, you will have to come back. Punya is over, you will have to return. Anatyantikatvat. Because it is finite, that prayojanam is not worth. But these people wrongly think that is what ultimate goal of life is. Ataha, therefore, akritartameva. They are not kritarthas, they are akritarthas. They are defeated. I don't think they have achieved. Akritartameva vastutaha tesham iti bhavaha. My opinion is they are not kritarthas, they are akritarthas because they are going after a finite thing which will be over. What is the point in doing it? If something gets exhausted, how can you shoot your collar and I have achieved? Another half an hour you have to come back. What is there to say that I have achieved something? That is his argument. Balaha. Balaha, Shankara Bhashya, it says, Ajnaninaha ityarthaha. They have not developed the knowledge. That's why, I was giving the examples like this. Balaha means Ajnanina. But the other thing is, there's another way to understand. The anger of a Shruti is similar to that of a mother. Shruti is our mata. For Sanatana Dharma, our eternal mother is Shruti. This is Shruti. Our eternal mother is Shruti. Shruti eva parama pramanam. Sanatana Dharma. No other pramana. We all live by the pramana of Shruti. What Shruti says is ultimate. That is what Sanatana Dharma is all about. So, that mother towards her child, when a child has not succeeded in life, it's out of love. The mother shouts at the son or the daughter because he or she has not succeeded in life. That is the bhava. That's why the Bala says harsh words are coming. Last shloka also is very harsh. This shloka is also very harsh. Next shloka is even more scary actually. You will see the next mantra. So it is the attitude of a mother towards the son. That is the attitude with which the Shruti is also approaching us. Like that also we can understand why a word like Bala is used. It looks upon this because What is the Uddesha of our Shruti? What is the Uddesha of our Upanishad? It wants all of us to, attain that eternal bliss forever, not the fleeting happiness, not the happiness which stays with me for some time and tomorrow I am miserable again. Shruti is interested in me for a more permanent thing. That's why it is upset and it is scolding at us. Like that also we can understand this. Bhala. Agatena aturaha. This is another part of that mantra. So Shankara Bhashya says, Ragat. What is Raga? Karmapala Raga Abhibhava Nimittam. I want to do something, I want to get benefits. I want to put my effort, I want to get benefits. Karma, Karmapala. I will go after it. The entire Bhagavad Gita has militated against this. That's why he said, Karmanyeva adhikaraste, ma paleshu kadachana, ma pala karma hetubho, mate sangastva karmani. The entire Bhagavad Gita militated against this idea. But that is what it is. Karma raga, karma pala raga abhibhava nimittam. Tena karanena, because of that reason, aturaha, dukkhartaha bhavanti. It is a matter of time for us to understand going after these worldly things and things which we feel important will just hit us. It's a matter of time. If we have understood that, then we can reflect and think, is there something more? So he says, because of that, they are going after karmapala. Because of that, dukkhartaha bhavanti. They will, it is a matter of time. Sooner or later, they will get into dukkha. That's what Shankara Bhashya. Whereas Sinmyananda's commentary was very good for this particular, he gave a very nice, he says, why they become miserable? Aturaha kimartam bhavanti. Why they become miserable? Chinmaya's commentary is as follows. He says, if you get too karma oriented, I will do something, I want benefits, people have to recognize me, people have to, respect me, I should get more money, I should get more riches. A lot of people, many of us are like that in our own ways. He says, if you do rituals with that idea, karma pala, one entire Upanishad is for this. It's called Kathopanishad. One entire Upanishad is father was actually doing yajna karya because he wanted to achieve something. But when he was giving dana, he was giving all useless things. So this boy, Nachiketas, was seeing it. He said, what is going on here? You are so out of his frustration, he asked, who will you give me? Repeatedly, this boy asked, father got very annoyed with him, I'll give you to Yama. Now the boy says, my father is so karma pala asangi. He should get his pala. So when he said he will give me to Yamadharma, I should go to Yamadharma, he goes and waits for 3 days. So entire Upanishad is on this very idea. Then prayers, shreyas, all those ideas are all there. But anyway, ritualism should not become a marketplace. This is what Chinmaya's commentary is. Ritualism should not become a marketplace where one can pay the required price to get what they want. We should not do karma like that. A lot of us, unwittingly, we may do like that, but that's not the way. Because Chitta Shuddhi will not happen. That way of doing karma will only spoil individuals. Shankaracharya says, Karmaha Chitta Shuddhyate. In Viveka Chudamani says, Karmaha Chitta Shuddhyate. Na vastu upalabhyate. Vastu kode illa. Because you do karma, you will not get the vastu. The tat padartha you won't get. Karmaha Chitta Shuddhyate. Na vastu upalabhyate. Vastu siddhi vicharena. Na kinchit karma koti bihi. You do 1 koti karma, you will not get vastu. Why? Because we should not attach pala to it. That will corrupt the mind and it will disturb us. More than corrupting the mind, it will create disappointments, it will create unhappiness, so many things will happen actually. So ritualism should not become a marketplace. One can pay the required price and get whatever they want. Then he says, desires only multiply as each desire gets fulfilled. This is an endless story. Yayati story we know in Mahabharata. Desires, I don't know anybody who says, I have n number of desires. After I tick n, everything is over. After you tick n, it becomes 2n, 3n. The list only becomes more and more. So I start with the two-wheeler. I thought I started Padbyam, first walking, then I went to a bicycle. I thought I should be comfortable. No, I went for a two-wheeler. I thought I'm comfortable with two-wheeler. No, I need a car. So buy Maruti 800. After some time, no, I want a sedan. After you buy a sedan, you say, no, I want a bigger car with a sunroof. Or I want a four-wheel drive with a SUV. This is the journey many people go. That's what he says. When desires only multiply at each desire gets fulfilled, unless the source of eruption of desires is dried up or choked. How do you do it? Do Vedanta Shravana. That's the only way. The medicine lies only there. The more and more we do Vedanta Shravana, this will dry up. Aushadha is there. That is the greatest value of Vedanta Shravana. It keeps our mind as clean as possible. Definitely at that point in time, maybe another for 4 hours, another 6 hours, maybe for 2 days. It all depends on what level we have progressed. Yeah. Thoughts cannot end where desires have not ceased. How can thoughts end? If desires are there, thoughts will. Manayeva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoga. Manusmriti says in Amrita Bindukopanishad also, same mantra is there. Manayeva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoga. It is the mind which is playing out. Unless you put your hands and give a better agenda for the mind, things are not going to become better. Karma cannot be where desires have ended. If we have all our desires have ended, there is no scope for karma. Means doesn't mean people don't do work. The karma is misunderstood. It doesn't mean people don't do work. It only means that when you do karma, phala and all, phala icha, it becomes nishkamya karma. That is not counted as karma in our scheme of things. That's the meaning of it. So Chinmayananda says that's the most important thing that we have to actually worry about. Then comes this mantra, which is the 10th mantra. Ishtapurtam manyamana varishtam nanyacheyo vedayante pramudaha. See, pramudaha. In earlier mantra it said muda. Now it says pramuda. Pramudaha nakasya prishtete sukrite anubhutva imam lokam heenataram va vishanti. It's a very, very powerful mantra actually. Ishtapurtam manyamanaha varishtam na anyat shreyaha vedayante. They don't understand anything. Power is gone. It's okay. Na anyat vedaha. Streaming, it is streaming. Because this is working. Yeah, but I'm not connected to anything actually. Na anyat shreyaha. There is nothing more shreyas than this. This is what they think. Ishtapurtam is the most important thing. Na anyat shreyaha vedayante pramudaha. They are not mudas, they are pramudas. Prakrishena mudaha. They are high-level mudas. Mudas of higher order. See, pra in Sanskrit is a upasarga. It's a prefix. Pra means prakrishtena. Prajnanam. Jnanam prajnanam. That's what he say. Vish, we say pravesh. Vish means enter. Pravesh means jabardas, enter. Enter well. That's why we say graha pravesh. We say. So pra is upasarga, which adds the meaning, makes it even stronger. So it says pramuda. Nakasya prishtete sukrite. So they go to the heaven. Nakasya prishte is a usage to indicate we are going to the heaven actually. Okay. Anubhutva. They go there and they enjoy the heaven for all the punya that they did. Imam lokam. They come back to this world. Then there is a very important point the Upanishad is making. Heenataram va vishanti. That doesn't mean you may even come here. You may go even below. He says you may not even come here. You may even go further down. This is very scary. This is like, you go to, you are given a guest house or a nice place. After that, you are thrown on the road. At least if you are ordinary house, what this Swarga? After going to Sarga, if I come back, I don't find the entry here, I may even go down. That's why the Paramapada is played those days. It will teach all Sanatana Dharma through the game. If you see what is written against each snake, What is written against this ladder, you should see. I don't know what those kinds of snake and ladder are available today. I don't know. The entire Vedanta can be learned with Paramapada. That was the Uddesha there. So when will you come down? When will you go up? That's why it says, Hina Taramva Vishanti. You may even go to a very lower order than even coming to the world. This is something which has to be understood very well. I think many of us don't understand this concept. These are all very fundamental issues in Sanatana Dharma. And that's why this Shruti is also bringing this. First, this Ishtapurtam. It says Ishtapurtam. Ishtapurtam is actually a very specific word. So there is something called Ishta, there is something called Purta. You will find it in many places in our Vedic corpus. Ishtapurta. We will see it, there is something called Ishta, there is something called Purta. Ishta means Shrauta Karya. What Shruti said. What did Shruti say? We saw it in the first two mantras. You do what is called Dasha Purna, you do Chaturmasya, Dasha Purna, Chaturmasya, Chaitri, Agnihotra, Vajpeya. See, he is called Atal Bihari Vajpeyi, not because for any other reason. One of his ancestors might have done a Vajpeya. There are 7 Soma Yajnas. One of them is called Vajpeya. I think his ancestor would have done Vajpeya Yaga. That's why he called Vajpeyi. So Vajpeya, Aptaryama, Aratra, 7 such Soma Yajnas, all those are called Ishta. It's a technical word. Ishta means Shrauta Karyam and Yagadi Karma. Nitya Yajnas are, Agnihotra, Pratar Agnihotram, Bhutva, Sayam Agnihotram, Bhutva. You have to do 2 times. Nobody is doing now. But that's Shrauta Karya. That is called Ishta. Then there's something called Purta. Purta is all that Western world has taught us. Social responsibility, build a house, give donation, build a hospital, give somebody for education, dig up a well, help lay a road, do social service. All this is called Purta. Smarta Karya. Vapi, Kupa, Tatakadi Karma. At that time, digging a Tataka. Agricultural economy. So better you dig up a pond. Now we are closing all the ponds in Bangalore. That's why all the waters are now coming onto the main road now. So Purta means what the Western world taught us as good living. I want you to underline this. They are good. They are good. They are not good. I'm not saying they're not good, but let us see what is going on now. So Ishta Purta. Now it says Hina Taramba Vishanti. If you do Ishta and Purta, how come you will even go to a lower level? This is a very scary idea. How come you'll go to even a lower level by helping people? This is a very strong thinking we have. So I have to clarify this very well. So anyway, I'm going to bring the Chandogya Upanishad to explain how this is happening. There are mantras in Chandogya Upanishad which I bring. Hina Taramba Vishanti. Why would we go down? Why is the Upanishad saying with all these Ishta and Purta you can still go down a lower level than the current state? Shankara Bhashya says like this. Anubhuya, karma palam anubhuya, having, we did some good karma in this Janma. Imam lokam, punaha imam lokam manusham asmat. So after for all your good karma, you will get a sterling holiday resort called heaven. You'll be there for some time. After the period is over, you'll have to come back. So he says, manusham asmat. Manusham lokam asmat hina taramba. Either you can come back as a human being or he can go even lower. And what lower he is giving? Tiryang narakadi lakshanam. See, Tiryang means horizontal. See, we grow vertical. Animals grow horizontal because they are 4-legged. When you say Tiryang, it always means animals. Because their growth is, there is a vertical growth, but a good axis is the horizontal axis because they are 4-legged. No? So you should see them growing only horizontally. Whereas we grow vertically because we have gotten up, 2 limbs have come up now. So we are all like this. So Tiryang, Narakadi. So Tiryang or Narakadi Lakshanam. Why it is happening? Shankaracharya says, Yata karma sesham. There is one big box of karma with you. Prarabdha karma in this janma, it is like I have shown pictorially all these in many of my earlier lectures. Imagine there is a trunk full of karma, one barrel full of karma. What is this janma? You take a bag, dip into that. So one bag full of karma is with you. That is what you are expending now. So what you are going through every moment of this life is already fixed. You cannot change it. The example in the Vedanta is when you leave an arrow from the bow, you cannot take it back. Or if you give a key to a doll and leave it, it has to exhaust the key. The spring has to unwind completely. Every one of our janma, this is something which we need to understand. Every one of our janma, we are playing out what we brought. We stored it somewhere, out of which we brought. That's all we did. That's why I say bhakti is very important. Because if Deva Anugraha is there, what we go through, we will go through with enough of mental peace. We will have to go through what we have to go through. There will be a little mental, the Deva Anugraha, if it is there, it will facilitate the process. No discount. The great Ramana Maharishi has to go through cancer because he brought that bag with him. He may be a great Rishi now. So, what we have to understand is, what we do in this Janma is for future. What we do in this Janma is for future. Now, Sesha Karma, Yatha Karma Sesham. What does it mean? I did some good things this time, for which I went to heaven, Swarga. When I came back, this barrel is still not empty. I have now dip another bag into the barrel. If that bag makes you to go like a dog, you have to go like a dog. This is the charm of Sanatana Dharma. What you put, you have to take it back. Don't blame anybody. That's what, Vivekananda was asked. I have also said this a few times. Vivekananda was asked by one person, sir, what is all this God and all that? This child, for no fault of it, is born in a pauper's house. He has just born. What mistake it did do? Whereas this fellow is born in a rich family and then creating a ruckus. Why is God very unkind? I don't know what is this unfairness of the God. Vivekananda said, you have not understood things well. Don't bring God into the equation. Vivekananda said, don't bring God into the equation. And the example he gave was, there are two pieces of land. I have one piece of land, you have one piece of land side by side. I plow the land, keep it very well appointed, nice, no this growth, that growth, it's very good. Other land, not attended. All kinds of things are growing there. The heaven opens. It doesn't. So God's grace will simply flow. It doesn't ask who are you, and all that. Vivekananda says, when the heaven opens, it pours on both the land. In this land, there will be a cash crop. In this land, you'll spend 20,000 rupees to clean the land. He says, don't put the blame on the rains. What is your preparation? These are deeper concepts. We think the child has come with a long bag, actually. You are only seeing a child. There is a long bag of karma with which the child has come. That's what it is. Not karma. That's why he says in 14 sloka in chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very clearly says, Swabhavastu vartate. Na kartrutvam na karmani. Loko srijati prabhu. The Prabhu is not giving any of these. Don't bring God into the equation. You invested, you are taking back. I am only maintaining an account. I am just maintaining an account, nothing else. You brought, I have maintained an account. That is the karma sesham. Yatha karma sesham vishanti. Just because I was good in this janma, it doesn't make any guarantee that in the future janma this will continue. There is a chance it may continue. Similarly, just because I suffer in this janma, it means it is a thing of the past. We should learn to put it at the back and then invest for the future. Never drive a car looking at the rear view mirror. You will bang. Car, if you are driving the car, don't look at the rear view mirror because that is past. You have to look at the front windshield. You have to look and then drive. Whereas if you say, why all these are happening, that means we are looking at a rear view mirror. That is what our Sanatana Dharma tells us. So the karma session is something Chandogya Upanishad has explained how we go and come back. That is given in great detail. So I will take all those mantras. Before that, Chandogya Upanishad, there are 10 mantras in the 5th division, 10th Adhyaya, there are 10 mantras. I'll take the 8 mantras because our thing are up to 8 mantras. Let's see what it says. Tadyayitam viduhu. Know it to be like this. Yecha ime aranye shraddha tapa ityupasate. Te archisham abhisambhavanti archishaha ahaha akhnaha apuryamana paksham apuryamana pakshat yan shad udangeti masan stan. So I will tell you, it's fairly easy actually. I'll tell you what it is. It says aranye shraddha tapaha. He is a jnani. He is focused on the ultimate. He is doing tapas on it. A person is like that. His karma was like that in this janma. Let us say, what will happen? Iti upasate te achisham abhisambhavanti. He gets into that bright part. Achis is fire or brightness, and he becomes an embodiment of brightness. Then he gets into day. In fact, all these 10 mantras are just 2 slokas in chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita. That's the charm of Bhagavad Gita. It talks about Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. That's what these mantras are actually. Okay? It becomes day. Then, when it becomes the Apuryamanam Paksham, then it becomes the Krishna Paksha, Shukla Paksha, not the Krishna Paksha. Because it is Archisham, it is all light. So Krishna Paksha. Then it becomes 6 masas. What are those 6 masas? Uttarayana, the northern path, not the Dakshinayana. That's what this mantra was saying for such people. Then, Masebhyaha Samvatsaram, they reach an year. These are all very figurative usages. If you reach a year means you have crossed, basically you reach a year actually means you cross the cycle of birth and death. That's the indication of the word year here actually. Others don't reach a year, it will say. Because reaching a year means you have completely down the escape velocity, you have gone out of this birth and death. That is the meaning of the word there. Anyway. Samvatsarat Adityam, they reach the sun. Adityat Chandramasam. From sun, they go to the moon. Chandramaso Vidyutam, they get into lightning. That's what it says. Okay? Tat Purushaha, there Amanavaha. He is not a Manava, he is Amanavaha. Vayam Sarve Manukule Jataha. In origin of the universe, there is one lady called Manu. We all came out of that. In Kashyapa Prajapati had, 7, 8 wives. We saw it in Ramayana. So one of them is Manu, and we are all born from that. That's why we are called Manavas. Whereas he is Amanava, he is celestial. He will lead you. Etan Brahma Gamayati Eshaha. This is called Kramamukti. See, we say Om Bhuh, Om Bhuh, Om Maha, Om Janaha, Om Tapaha, Om Satyam. That's the 7 Satya Loga is that Brahma. That's called Kramamukti. So it talks about a path of Uttarayana, which takes a Vyakti, because it is so purified. That's why it moves like that. See, this lightning, daytime are all indicating. You should not literally take the meaning of that. We have, even in Bhagavad Gita, I have lectured in some detail about the Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, and so on. Devayanaha Panta iti. This is the divine path. Now let us talk about us now. This is over. Now let us talk about people like us, what happens. Ata, on the other hand, Ime Grama Ishta Purte Dattam. They do Ishta and Purta. Good work. So Shrauta Karya and Smarta Karya. I donate, I help people, I help people for studies, health I give, I am very dharmic, I do my upasana, I do my whatever. This is Ishtapurta. That Ishtapurta is coming here. That's why I colored it differently. These Upanishads are linked through this word actually. Okay? Ishtapurta Dattam Ityupasate. Their desire is always let us do Ishta and Purta. In that angle only they are doing. If I help people, good thing will happen to you. If you help people without even thinking it, it is a much higher order. If you think, if I help people, good thing will happen to me, is slightly madhyama. Adama, I won't say madhyama. If you help people, because Tatavyam iti yadyate taddanam satvikam smritam. In Bhagavad Gita, he says, this situation requires a help. Let us help. Full stop. There is no comma after that. This situation requires a help. Let us help. There is no icha, there is no expectation, there is nothing. Whereas this is not like that. There is a bit of an upasana. I mean, I want it like that. That's what it is. Huh? They doomam abhisambhavanti. They, after they go away from here, they get into smoke. Dooma is smoke. Now the darkness is coming. See, all these dooma is basically an indication of our path is a tunnel which doesn't lead us to liberation. That's how we have to understand all these black, dark, and all that. They're all very figurative explanation. Doomaha abhisambhavanti. Doomrat ratrim. You get into night. Okay. Ratre apara pakshaha. Not this paksha, not the Purva paksha, not the Shukla paksha, Krishna paksha. Apara paksha. Krishna pakshaha. Apara paksha shan. Shadanga dakshineti. 6 months on the southern side, which is Dakshinayana. Dakshineti masam stan na yete sambhavanti. Samvatsaram na yete samvatsaram abhiprapnuvanti. They don't get to the year. The indication here is an indication of you have not developed the escape velocity for birth and death. That is what is indicated by the day, year, Krishna paksha, Shukla paksha. This is a very sort of a figurative base by which the idea is expressed. So they don't reach the year. Okay, what happens to them? Masebhyaha pitrlokam. Then they go to, so they all become pitrus. Pitru paksha. Now it is pitru paksha. So we are all doing our karunika pitru and all that we are doing. So pitru, they get into pitrloka. Pitrlokat akasham, the interspace. Okay. Akashat chandramasya, it gets into the moon. Yeshaha Somaraja, he is the King Soma. These are all very allegorical descriptions. The concept we have to understand rather than the specifics of these names and forms and so on. Okay. Tat devanam annam tam deva bhakshayanti. Actually, devas consume means with your punya, you go to the Devaloka and then you get partake into the Devaloka. That is the meaning. Changing, they don't eat. You are part of that entire process which happens in the heaven. That is how we have to understand. Okay. Then what happens? Kshine punye marti lokam vishanti. That's what the earlier mantra said. So how does it work? Tasmin yavat sampaditam ushitva yetat eva advanam punarnirvartante. Whatever you have earned after exhaustion of all that, you have to return. Now let us look at the return path, how it is happening. Yata yetam akasham akashad vayu, the reverse path. So it gets into the interspace, akasham, akashat vayu, it gets into the vayu, vayuhu bhutva dhumah, it gets into the smoke and all that. Dhumho bhutva abram bhavati, abram is cloud. Abram can be white cloud or rain-bearing cloud also. Krishna Abram, if you want to say rain-bearing cloud, you can add a black also to it. Abram is generally cloud. Often they say white cloud, sometimes black cloud also. So this Jivatma comes back in this path. It gets into the cloud. Abram bhutva mego bhavati. Mega is actually the black cloud. Actually, Abram is the white cloud. Okay, not the rain-bearing cloud. Then it gets into the rain-bearing cloud. Megam bhavati, mego bhutva pravarshati. The jiva comes through, that is the medium through which we all actually came back. That's how we came back. We came through rain. Pravarshati, tayha vrihiyava voshadi vanaspataya stilam ashaha iti. We get into the sasyas. Voshadi vanaspataya, tila, yava, barley, wheat, rice, grains, pulses, somewhere this jiva enters somehow. This is the journey. Okay? Jayante. Okay, iti jayante ataha vaikalu durnishprapataram. If you are in a grain, you cannot come out of this world. You are stuck there. So what it does, it gets into the food of somebody who will become your father. That's what the next step. So it was because it is durnishprapataram. Yo hui annamatti. Whoever eats, atti is eating. Yo annamatti, somebody eats that food. Jiva also is eaten. Annamatti, ye retaha, yo retaha, that becomes that reproductive sap, semen. The jiva gets into the semen. Okay? Sinchati, that is deposited on the woman. Sinchati, tad bhuya eva bhavati. This is how we come back to the world again. This is what it really says. Then, I think we'll take a few more minutes because we should finish this mantra. Tadyaiha ramaniya charanaha abhyashaha ha yatte ramaniyam yonim apadyeran brahmana yonim va kshatriya yonim va vaishya yonim va ata. People who had a certain attitude to life when they left this place, ramaniya, they like some good things, they want to do things, they'll come back exactly that. So if you are so knowledge, you are so passionate about knowledge, you are all the time only about knowledge, you may come back as a Brahmin. If you want to really, do some loka sangraha and put smile on the face of the people, you may come as a Kshatriya. Or you want to create an economic sustainability by your hard work and very intelligent ideas with which you can actually make trade and all that, and you have that attitude, you will become a Vaishya. With whatever is your, that's why gunakarma, chaturvarnyam maya krishtam, srishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha is what Krishna said. Each one of us bring a certain guna and that anusarena will do karma. That's very natural, no? We should do what we are best in. That is the tragedy of India in 2022. Lot of goldsmiths and, wooden carpenters are all sitting in Infosys doing tuck. Just doing software programming. You have killed this diversity of this country. That's not what it is. Anyway, so they all come like that. Yaha kupaya charanaha, lot of mischief mongers who did it. But every time, I keep saying that every time we see a beggar on the road, this fellow must have taken enough in the last Janma. There is a very nice story. Two people went to the god. One person went to the god and said, I should always be giving. I'm not satisfied. I want to be always be giving. Next Janma, please make an arrangement for that. Another fellow said, I want to be always be receiving. Please make like that in the Janma. Second fellow became a beggar. First fellow became a Dhanavan with a good mind. He was so yata buddhi tata bhavati. That is what I am saying. Okay. Kupacharana abhyashaha hayatte kupayam yonim apadyeran shvayonim. They may become a dog. Shvayonim va sukara yonim, pig. Va chandala yonim va. Where I have just do all kinds of nonsense. They are chandalas are those. They are the chandalas who do all kinds of nonsense. They are chandalas, not by any other imagination. We should understand. This is what it is. So the Upanishad says you will all go back there because that is your mind. Go there. That's what will happen to you. Go there. What you carried is what you will actually take back and go. Ata yetayoho patoho na katarena cha na tani mani Kshudranya Sukrutavartini Bhutani Bhavanti. There are Patayoho. These are two paths. Now there are two paths set. One is Uttarayana, one is Dakshinayana. That's why Dvivachanam is coming. There's a Uttarayana, there's a Dakshinayana. Dakshinayana is we go around and then come back. We can even become a dog or a pig, and that's why Hinataram Vishanti. That's what is, because it all depends on what do you have here, actually. Okay. But there is a third. And what it says, Tanimani, Kshudra. Tani Imani. That's right. Tani Imani, Kshudrani. There are some small little kind of, insects and all that, right? Bhutani Bhavanti, Jayasya Mriyasyeva Yete, Tritiyagum Sthanam. There is a third route in which they will keep on by, birth, death. Mosquito birthday, finished. over. Then cockroach birthday, you take shit and then tuck, over. So there is this lower level jantus, we have to understand this. Lower level jantus will not go to heaven. But they will only have a progressive unilateral growth up to human because they don't have the power of vichara. So you cannot make them responsible. They live by instinct. So our promotion, he will get promotion and come. They will not get into this chakra of this heaven and all that. Moment you reach here, you have a power to think. You could have exercised your choice. You could have lived a life which was worthy. I will now you take responsibility. The God has taken the responsibility only up to the Tiryanga. After that, the God has not taken the responsibility. That's why they simply go through birth and death. That is the third. So this is what Chandogya Upanishad says. Huh? So this is what pictorially the entire mantra is saying this. It says when Janma comes to an end, first there is an assessment made. What is the nature of karma? And if the nature of karma is so good, you go through Uttarayana, you go to sun, you go to moon, you go to lightning, and then you reach Hiranyagarbha. Satya Loka. Karma Mukti. If your karma is still black and white, it's not black and white, it is grey. Little bit of black, little bit of white. So for your white, I will first send you to Devaloka. For the black, you come back again. Like that. So you go to Pitriloka, from where a judgment is made of, you need some time to do all calculations. Right? So Pitriloka, from there the interspace, from there the moon, from there the Devaloka, Kshine Punye, then again come to interspace, air, smoke, Dhumra, Abra, Mega, Varsha, Sasyas, and then food, then Retas. Then you come back. When you come back, let us look at which dustbin you belong to. Good karma or bad karma. If you belong to the bad karma, you go this side. Karma sesham. Yata karma sesham bhavanti. Shankara Bhashya. Yata karma sesham bhavanti. So in the box, we have to see what is inside. Depending upon that, you go this way or that way. So this is how Chandogya Upanishad says. I think I will stop here. There is one more slide, but I think that we will take it next class. We'll continue from here. All that I want to say is the Upanishad has put a tight thing on our neck now. It is saying, expand your scope of thinking, expand your scope of understanding of life. It's very important. Otherwise, we may be in that endless cycle and circle and all that. We will continue it in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shubharatri. Huh? It was there actually. It was lying there. As soon as I went, I found. Oh, yes. Running late. I didn't properly search. Quickly searched and